Hi, my name is Ashley Gaete and welcome to Emerge News. I'm here with Veronica Granja-Sierra. She writes for Emerge Online. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you for having me.
So I want to ask you about your article. Could you maybe summarize it for the audience?
Okay, so my article, Metrosexy, the new guy thing, it's basically about the rise of metrosexuality in men. So basically, if you want to kind of do a comparison, it's like the new definition of womanhood. There's kind of a whole new definition for manhood and masculinity now in this generation.
And why do you want to write about that?
I don't know. I'm more of a person that likes to write about lifestyle issues and things that interest me, and I guess you could say metrosexual men is kind of what interests me, so I decided to write about that.
In your article, you say the definition of a man has always been strong, not showing any sensitivity, never allowing to shed a tear, and most definitely not to care about appearance. How would you describe the new metrosexual man?
Okay, so the new metrosexual in this era would definitely be a man who's in touch with his feminine side, not afraid to show it, someone who just cares about his appearance, always wants to look good, the way he dresses, maybe he does his eyebrows, maybe goes for a tan. Yeah, basically just self-appearance and wanting to look good all the time.
So you got to interview a few people for your article. One of them who I want to talk about is Sam Kellerman. He is the creator of It's Pronounced Metrosexual, which is a comedic sketch. So he's a comedian and he also talks about social justice. Why do you think he's a good representation of the metrosexual man?
Okay, because he's a metrosexual himself, and when I was doing my research, I came across his blog, and he basically has a lot of different viewpoints about this generation and how the new definition of masculinity is changing.
So we have a clip with Sam Kellerman at the TED Talks in Chicago, and he basically uses his humor to teach younger audiences about social justice. So let's take a look at that.
So I'm not gay. Thank you. I'm not, but I find myself saying that a lot. You could go so far as to say that I'm professionally not gay, which is weird, because my life revolves around a comedy show called It's Pronounced Metrosexual, where I go on stage and I talk about identity and snap judgments and sexuality. But the funniest thing about all of this is that none of it really has anything to do with sexuality. The reason why I started doing that show and the reason why people always assume I'm gay has nothing to do with sexuality. It's all about gender. Gender and sexuality are often lumped together, but they're two different things. It's like apples and sexy oranges.
So this is why I chose to interview him for my article.
So going back to your article, you said the subculture of metrosexuality started 20 years ago, so in 1994, right?
Yes, according to Mark Simpson, that's when he first coined the term in 1994, and he said that it started to emerge and really rise in the 2000s.
So when it first became popular in the mainstream in the early 2000s, there was actually a phobia surrounding metrosexuality. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
So yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, back then there was a whole stigma in regards to metrosexual men. They would have to look at other men in order for them to be considered metrosexual, and they would have to see that man as attractive. So there for sure was a whole stigma to it.
And what's changed now about our society?
Now, I mean, there's just more sexual freedom. You kind of see it also in the media. Actually, Mark Simpson, he himself states that David Beckham is actually one of the most popular metrosexuals in this generation, and he kind of started it all. And yeah, I would have to agree.
And you have a poll on emergemagazine.ca about metrosexuality after you read the article. And you've asked women, what type of man do you prefer? And 61% of them said that they prefer a metrosexual man who's in touch with his feminine side and focused on his appearance and is fashion forward. So why are they more appealing to women now when back in the day women used to be strongly attracted to like the manly man?
I would say again, just the way media portrays this type of man, you know, well-groomed, maybe in a suit and tie. It's just the new sexy to me, and I feel like most women would agree. Every woman likes a man that, you know, takes pride in his own appearance and wants to look good all the time, and I know I certainly do.
You also asked the men a question too, and the question was, would you consider yourself a metrosexual? And by definition, that means spending money and time on themselves, wanting to look good at all times at any cost. And the majority of men actually said yes. So is this because they're seeing how effective grooming is to attracting females? Like, what do you think about that?
There's a whole bunch of different products out there nowadays that actually inspire and motivate men to want to look good. Different grooming products, hair products.
And man purses are in right now.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So thank you, Veronica, so much for sitting down with us and having this interview about your article. If you want to go read Veronica's article or any other article on Emerge, go to emergemagazine.ca. I'm Ashley Gaete. Thank you so much.